The tale of the second Sheikh. Presently, O master of the rulers of the Jinn, that these two dogs are my siblings, and I'm the third. When our dad kicked the bucket, he left us a legacy of 3,000 dinars, and with my portion I opened a shop and started to exchange it. My siblings did likewise, yet soon one of them set out on a business adventure and was away with the parades for north of a year. At the point when he returned, he had lost all his cash and I was moved to share with him. Sibling, did I not counsel you against this excursion? Then, at that point, he sobbed and said, Allah, the Almighty, permitted this deficiency of mine, and your words can't help me since I have nothing left. Then, at that point, I brought him up into my shop and a while later directed him to the showers and provided him with a fine robe of uncommon workmanship. When finally we were plunking down to eat together, I let my sibling know that I was going to process the yearly gains from my shop and that, leaving the capital immaculate, I would partition anything benefit there could be similarly between us. When, on making my records, I found that I had a benefit of 1,000 dinars for the year, I expressed gratefulness to the power and significance of Allah and celebrated extremely. Then, at that point, I separated the total similarly between my sibling and myself, and we stayed together for a long time. Yet, finally both my siblings made up their brains to go on a second excursion and wished me to set out with them. When I declined this greeting, bringing up that the after effect of the primary excursion didn't entice me to mimic them, they started to censure me. In any case, their words were of little consequence and we remained trading, each in our separate shops, for an entire year. Toward the year's end they once more proposed an excursion, and again I declined, and this happened for 6 entire years. In any case, finally I agreed to their solicitation to set out with them and proposed that we ought to count up what cash we had. We did so and found that it came in all to 6,000 dinars. Then said I, let us conceal the portion of this in the earth to be an assistance in the event that we experience sick fortune, and let us each take with us 1,000 dinars to exchange with. May Allah favor your recommendation, they replied. Thus, taking the cash and partitioning it, I concealed 3,000 dinars and split the other 3,000 between us three. Then we purchased product of numerous sorts, employed a boat and, putting all we had on board her, set forth. Following a month's journey we moored at a specific city, where we sold our products at a benefit of 10 dinars for one. Then we left the city. When we boiled down to the ocean side, we found there a lady wearing old and worn out pieces of clothing who moved toward me and kissed my hand, saying, "Expert, might you at any point help me and save me?" Well, I know how to reimburse your decency. I answered, certainly I will help and save you, yet you should not figure it important to reimburse me. Wed me then, at that point, expert, she said, convey me with you to your nation and I will promise my spirit to you. Do this for me, for I'm of the people who know the worth of an obligation. Also, I supplicate, don't be embarrassed about my unfortunate condition. When I heard her speak, I felt sorry for her in all sincerity. In vain happens however Allah wills it. I conveyed her with me, dressed her in rich pieces of clothing and extended fine covers for her on the ship. Then, when I had given her a full and warm gladly received, we set forth. As time went on I developed to cherish her and wouldn't be separated from her day or night, favoring her organization to that of my siblings. So they became envious of me, begrudging me my wealth and the excellence of my possessions. They cast eager eyes on all that I had, and plotted my demise and the burglary of my cash. Satan made this arrangement appear great to them. At some point, as I lay dozing by my significant other's side, they took dependent upon us and cast us both into the ocean. My better half woke in the water and out of nowhere, changing her shape, turned into an Ifrita. Then she took me upon her shoulders and, conveying me to an island, left me and vanished for the entire evening. In the first part of the day she returned and said, "Do you not know me? I'm your better half. It was I who held you up and saved you from death by Allah's effortlessness. Know now that I am a Jinne, and that when first I saw you my heart cherished you, for Allah willed it in this way, and I'm a devotee to Him and in His Prophet, whom may He favor and keep. In any event, when I came to you in unfortunate bequest you were able to wed me, and presently, in my turn, I have saved you from death in the water. Concerning your siblings, I'm angered against them and should kill them." Amazed by her words, I said thanks to her generously. "In any case, concerning killing my siblings, this thing should not be," I said, and let her all know that had occurred between us from start to finish. At the point when she had listened to me, she said, "Tonight I will travel to them and sink their boat so they pass on." Then said I, "Allah accompany you. Try not to do this thing." The expert of sayings has said, "You who have helped the shameful, realize that the evil man has in his fiendishness discipline enough. And anything they have done, they are as yet my siblings. No. I should kill them," she said, and I beseeched her pardon to no end. She took me on her shoulders and, flying through the air, put me downward on the porch of my home at home. I opened the entryway of my home and lifted the 3,000 dinars from their concealing spot. Then, at that point, subsequent to making the standard visits of hello, I opened my shop and supplied it again with products. At the point when night came, I shut my shop and, going into my own home, found these two dogs restricted in a corner. When they saw me, they rose sobbing and grasped my pieces of clothing. At that point my better half approached me, saying, "These are your siblings." And when I asked her who had done this thing to them, she replied, "I did." I asked my sister, who is definitely more profoundly scholarly in charms than I am, and she transformed them into these structures, out of which they can't come back again until a decade have passed. That is the reason, O strong Jinne, I end up being here, since I'm headed to my sister by marriage to beseech her to convey these unfortunate animals since a decade have passed. At the point when I came here, I saw this great vendor and, subsequent to hearing his story, wished to remain and observe what might occur among him and you. This is my story. Really an exceptional story, the Jinne said. For it I award you benevolence. On 33% of this blood which is relinquished to me. Then the third sheikh, expert of the donkey, approached and shared with the Jinne, "I will let you know a story more grand than both of these, in the event that you will give me kindness until the end of the blood which is relinquished to you." "Let it be so," addressed the Jinne. Furthermore, the third sheikh said,